What's up, YouTube? NBA Jerry here. I know this is not an NBA topic, but this is actually a hot, subject going on around the sports, world or whatever. And everybody's talking about this, and you know what I'm talking about with the two football players from the Miami Dolphins, Martin and Incognito. And I just wanted to give you my quick thoughts on it. Everybody's got an opinion on this, and there's really no right or wrong. It depends on where you come from, and it's all relative to your standpoint. You know what I'm saying? And I obviously don't know the details. I wasn't there. I don't know any of the people involved in the situation. But from what I'm hearing, as far as from the players' perspectives, the media, what they're saying, ESPN, all that stuff, I'm going to give you my, try to give you my objective thoughts on it. All right. First of all, let's look at it from both sides of the fence here. All right, it's because it's hard to put yourself in somebody's shoes. It really is, because you don't know, the whole situation, and you weren't there. But let's just look at it from Martin's standpoint. Was he wrong for what he did? It depends on where you look at it from. But to me, I wouldn't have did it that way. And like I said, I don't know the whole situation, but from what I know, because I wanted to wait a couple of days before I started talking about this, because I knew that, they were going to start interviewing the players, because the Dolphins weren't saying anything for the first few days, but now you can see they're basically all on Incognito's side. A lot of them are. And Martin, from what it seems, he seemed like a good guy. He went to Stanford and stuff like that. He wasn't a thug or anything like that, but it seemed like he kept to himself. And from what the players are saying, the Dolphins players, basically he was a good player, because he's a starter. The guy was a starting offensive lineman. This guy was no scrub. This guy was a starting NFL lineman in the NFL. So we're not talking about a bench warmer here. And from what the players are saying, that he kept to himself. He lacked a little bit of intensity, but had a lot of talent or whatever. And some of the players were basically saying that Incognito took him under his wing, and they were like really good friends, and he was like a big brother, or big brother little brother relationship, those two. And everybody's talking about how Incognito said the N-word to Martin or whatever. And some of the players, because everybody heard the voicemails and the text messages and stuff like that. And some of the players on the Dolphins were saying that Martin showed or let people listen to that voicemail, and Martin was laughing about it, according to a couple of Dolphins players. To me, I look at it like this, and I said this in the LeBron James, most disrespected superstar in NBA history. I'm not saying you gotta, beat anybody up or put your hands up, put your hands on somebody, but you gotta stand up for yourself. I understand everybody saying Incognito's a big, strong dude and all this stuff, but Martin ain't no little guy neither. And I'm not saying that he should beat him up or nothing like that. Just like I said with LeBron, LeBron shouldn't have beat up Muhammad, when Muhammad pushed him down. But at the same time, you got to stand up for yourself. And if you're a guy that has respect, respect for yourself, you shouldn't let anybody, talk to you any kind of way. I mean, you really shouldn't, because there's bullies out here, all the time. And bullies only mess with people that don't stand up for themselves, that don't hit back. Because believe me, even if you're one of the toughest bullies in the world, a lot of times you don't want to sit there and fight with somebody, regardless if you win or lose. I mean, if a guy just keeps hitting you every time you bully him and you guys are fighting, that's not an easy target to do. So I'm not saying that Martin should have hit him, but he definitely should have had a conversation with him. If it was bothering him that much, just like one of the offensive linemen said for the Dolphins, if it was bothering him that much, you should have talked to somebody. And I'm not talking about management. You should have handled it in the locker room. That's my personal opinion about Martin. Now, I mean, think about what he's doing now. Wrong or right, however you look at it, Martin snitched on Incognito. All right, that's just what it is. He snitched on him. And if you guys know what I'm talking about as far as being in a locker room and being part of a sports culture, you know what I'm talking about. He snitched on him, and now he's pressing charges or doing a lawsuit, and he's going to name more players. So not only did he not handle it in-house, he left the team, snitched on his teammate, left the team, and now he's gonna do a lawsuit. He'll never play again. This dude would never play NFL football again. Who's gonna want him in the locker room? Wrong or right? Who's gonna want him? So I think I wouldn't have handled it that way. I definitely would have talked to somebody, and because to me it sounds like the guy. Yes, he sounded like he was bullied and all that, but it sounded like to me that he just didn't want to play football anymore. And I could be wrong about that, but maybe he's having some emotional, disturbances or whatever. But, here's the thing, man. When you have a job like a police officer, fireman, Navy SEAL, Marine, professional athlete, everybody's not cut out for that, And to me, I've seen plenty of guys, get picked on and messed around. Listen, my closest friends, if you listen to some of the voicemails and text messages I send to them, I'd sound like a bad guy too, So let's look at it from Incognito's point of view now. Now, obviously, everybody knows about his past and stuff like that, but the Dolphins, they got his back. They want to go to war with this guy because he's a warrior. And although he's not a Boy Scout by no stretch of the imagination, they're saying that, he's been coming along the last couple of years. He's the type of guy that will give you his shirt off his back and everything. The N-word thing, I'm not necessarily, cool with that as an African American male, but there's a different culture now. I'm 38 years old, so I'm a little bit older. This didn't happen a lot in my culture, but the younger generation seems to use the N-word with the A at the end, not the R in the end, but the A at the end, as almost a term of endearment a little bit. You can say that word and be almost like saying, hey, what's up, man? What's up, homeboy? That word is in place of homeboy and what's up, man? And I guess, according to the reports, that the African-American players on the Dolphins basically gave him permission, incognito, to use that term. And I don't necessarily agree with it because, see, that word really never bothered me anyway because I never consider myself an N-word, and I've used that word, of course. I've used it, African Americans use it all the time. I don't think it's a cool word, but it's here to stay and ain't going nowhere. But it is a little disturbing, to hear a white man say that from a black man's perspective. It just is, because of all the, the racial things that happened with slavery and segregation and all the things that you guys already know about that I'm not going to get into. But Incognito is definitely not, innocent in this. But according to the Miami Dolphins players, which, by the way, are sticking up for Incognito, Martin's basically a traitor to them. So you got to know, where they're coming from. Incognito was basically a big brother figure, according to them, and he was just trying to help them. But if you just listen to the voicemail, you think this guy's a bad guy. And, according to his, his past and all that stuff, and, he may have been a little hard on him. I don't know if he was or not. But it seems like this, as the story keeps going, it seems like Incognito wasn't really doing a whole lot wrong. Yeah, he shouldn't have said, the thing about his mother and all that. I'm not condoning any of that. I think he was wrong for that. But and if you heard how I talk to my friends about their moms and all that stuff, like, that's what you do as your friend. I don't think, when I heard that, I don't really think he was thinking about killing anybody or doing something. I think he was just talking to his homeboy or his little brother, but I could be wrong. I don't know. So, will Incognito play again for the Dolphins? I don't know. I think it was kind of a knee-jerk reaction from the Dolphins because of the voicemail and text message came out as far as them just suspending him. But we'll see. But my overall thoughts are it's just a bad situation for the team, period, man. And and once again it separates us, blacks and whites, and another thing too is lost in this to me is the Dolphins, as a team. They lost 2 starting offensive linemen. I mean, that hurt, especially me because I got Lamar Miller on my fantasy team. But it's like, dang. And another thing too, if the bullying really was going on by Incognito, how do you bully somebody that's on your team? Like, that guy is part of your team. You're trying to get him better, not put him down. If that's true, it doesn't seem it doesn't seem like to me that he was really bullying him though. I don't see it according to the players' perspective and stuff like that. Because if it was that serious, I just don't understand why Martin didn't stand up and talk to the man and pull him to the side. Because I just look at it as that's not going to happen to me. I always try to put myself in a situation, and I'm not sitting here saying I'm the toughest guy in the world because I'm not. But if you have any kind of respect for yourself, you put that nonsense to a stop, man. You pull that man to the side and say, listen, man, I understand that, I'm a year, second year player, and I was a rookie last year and stuff like that, and you was told to toughen me up, man. But here, this is what I'm telling you what I don't like, what you're saying, and you tell him that, because I've done that before, plenty of times, and basically, in street terms, you got to check that man. Check him at the door. And if that don't work, then you go to the front office or talk to somebody else on the team and stuff like that. So just to leave your team, now I hate to say it, but he's ruined his NFL career. Look at this story. This man will never play NFL football again. You know what I'm saying? He won't. Especially if he takes legal action. So was he wrong? In my eyes, he wasn't wrong if it was really that stressful and that bad on him, but I just would have handled it a different way. That's just me. If I wanted to still play NFL football. Now, if I didn't want to play NFL football, and I don't care what people say about me being a traitor, a Benedict Arnold, a punk, because that's what he's going to be called now, a punk. He can't stand up for himself, all this other stuff. That man's going to go down in infamy, man. He's going to be known for the wrong reasons. So I feel bad for both parties. I feel bad for the Dolphins, the fans, all the family members, all the people involved, man. It's just a difficult situation, and I'm a big NFL fan, and this is not good. This is not a good look for the NFL. They got to try to get this story done as quick as they can, man. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, NFL is taking a hit right now. When the major news, especially with Peyton Manning and all these other players playing great. The major story in the NFL is 2 players getting into a racial bullying situation. That ain't cool. So, do me a favor, guys. Let me know what you think about this. Are you on Incognito's side, on Martin's side? Who's wrong or right? Let me know your thoughts, guys. All right, appreciate it.